the ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
No guessing, just catching. New Explore Series fish finders keep you locked on fish with unbeatable clarity, best-in-class imaging options, and a stunning ultra-bright HD screen. There's more to explore, only with Humminbird.
The GOAT, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time in the basketball world. Sorry, not even debatable. Michael Jordan, number 23. Offshore fisherman, loves to go white marlin fishing off the Atlantic coast. And of course, NBA legend, number 23. As in, 23 days before our Back Bay striped bass fishery reopens in the Garden State, winter flounder as well. For the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, I'm Jim Hutchinson, aka The Hack, H-A-C-K. That's depending on how you get your fishing news, if you do, and where you and I might connect on social media. Making friends wherever I go and accepting friend requests, perhaps when I shouldn't. Thank you, Joseph. There are a few significant state and national headlines this week related to fishing, recreational fishing, access, and industrial offshore wind. Not everyone has a sense of humor or a nonpartisan interest in the politics of fishing, so I'll wait on that until after George, so you get the next 15, 20 minutes or so of all the updates we possibly can. So until we get into the politics of fish, sausage stuffing, take a deep breath. We'll be fine. A couple of fishing flea markets to talk about this week. As always, you can find our full calendar of events. That's in every monthly edition of the Fisherman magazine, the February edition included. That's on newsstands now. Plus, in a couple of minutes, I'll talk about where I'll be Super Bowl Sunday. But white perch, cod, pollock, ling, and blackfish. That's all on our salty slate for the rest of this month of February. Not many for hire boats running at this point, but still the best bet is local headboat running offshore for some of those bottom critters. Check in with the folks at Fisherman's Den in Belmar for more information. They've got greenies and white leggers in that shop if you're looking to score yourself or jump on one of those headboats. I believe there's still one, might be the Ocean Explorer, I believe is what the folks at Fisherman's Den told me this week. Farther south, of course, you've got the Jamaica and the Paramount. They continue to sail out of Manasquan, out of the port of Brielle. In fact, the Paramount reported ling, cod, and blackfish in the mix this past Sunday. Actually, passengers on board the Paramount were treated to some happy humpback whales frolicking about. Fish, dinner, and a show. You can't beat that. Many New Jersey shops still keeping bloodworms stocked for those on the hunt for white perch out back. I was speaking to somebody at the Raritan Bay Saltwater Anglers Club fishing flea market on Saturday who mentioned to me the South Jersey white perch bite is on fire. Ostensibly, I'm thinking up the Mullica, into the Bass River perhaps, certainly the Great Egg, any of those feeder creeks off the Delaware River as well. If you'd like some tips and tactics on any species of fish, you can always go to thefisherman.com, select any of the number of species. In this case, select perch from our species drop-down menu for a few posted articles at thefisherman.com that have run on the pages of the Fisherman magazine in the past. There was a good showing up in Colonia this week for that aforementioned Raritan Bay Anglers Club fishing flea market. I actually ran out of Danko pliers with about an hour left in the show. So yeah, we are on a limited supply. So if you're walking around a show, try to get to us first. New York anglers can head to Freeport on Saturday for that Danko pliers special through the Fisherman. While here in New Jersey, I'm in my annual trip out to Palmyra this Sunday, February 9th. It's the 27th annual Palmyra Fire Department Fishing Tackle Flea Market. That's from 9 to 2, the Charles Street School, 100 West Charles Street in Palmyra. Now, there is an early bird special for folks that want to get in there at 8 a.m. It's a little bit more expensive, but $5 will get you through the door at 9 a.m. I'll be there early, so don't worry about it. And I have 80 sets of Danko pliers to bring with me on Sunday. That's 80 subscriptions. The first 80 new renewing subscriptions to the Fisherman magazine will walk out of the Charles Street School with a set of Dankos. Now, the day prior, Saturday, February 8th, you have the Highmar Fisherman's Flea Market from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. That's at the Port Monmouth VFW Post 2179. That's located at 1 Veterans Lane in Port Monmouth. Admission is $5. Kids 15 and under are free. That also includes free access to all the seminars that are going on there. Anthony Tony Maggia Jr. Arcabasio at 8:30 a.m. on striper trolling. Chuck Tie-Man Manny comes on at 9:30 to talk about his unique style of planer board stripers. And then Eddie Toggy Time Jigs Goodell at 10:30 a.m. with some blackfish tips. Also on Saturday, February 8th, my alma mater, class of 85, Ram Pride. That's Gen X. I'm not a boomer, Zachy boy. The Southern Regional High School Fishing Club will hold their fishing flea market. That's from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. That's at the Southern Regional Junior High School Cafeteria, 75 Cedar Bridge Road in Manahawkin, right there at the light. Right at the corner there. You just head a little bit to the west and you'll find it up the hill. Admission is $4, children under 12 free, with a seminar by my good friend Bayside Dave, an LBI surf fixture. Seminars, they're one of the best reasons to visit any number of these shows. Now, the Fisherman Magazine is not going to be out at the Southern Flea Market. We're not going to be at Highmar. We will be at Palmyra. Highmar has those seminars. But there are all kinds of seminar programs coming up over the next several weeks. You just can't go wrong. In fact, next week, we have the New Jersey Boat Sale and Expo. That one's in Edison, as well as the Philadelphia Fishing Show. That's out at Oaks, PA. The Fisherman Magazine is doing the full lineup of seminars for each event. In next week's video, I'll give you a full rundown on the seminar slates, because there are a lot of them all the way through Sunday, from Thursday to Sunday, from Edison to Oaks. But if you want to, right now, you can look at the seminar lineup for next week. First of all, the MTA Boat Show, that's jerseyboatexpo.com. That'll give you the entire seminar lineup for Edison next week. Or go to phillyfishingshow.com for details on the Oaks, PA event.
The boats, bargains, and fun are back. The New Jersey Boat Sale and Expo. Hit the water for the best fishing season ever with savings on center consoles and fishing boats for inland and offshore. February 13th through 16th. New Jersey Convention and Expo Center, Edison. JerseyBoatExpo.com.
Life is better with a boat.
We have our 6th annual stock up event on March 2nd from 10 to 2. We have some great deals, raffles, as well as local vendors and pro staff members on site, and a free food truck. Stop on by.
Now, one seminar speaker next week in Edison, and I believe she's also doing Surf Day in Lincroft at Brookdale Community College next Saturday, is Jenny Ackerman. On this week's Open Boat, Jenny hosted a ladies' night seminar recently at Grumpy's Tackle. The goal to spread awareness of women in the recreational fishing industry. Now, Jenny's journey is only a few years in the making so far, though she's fished her entire life. She now walks the path with other influential lady anglers. And in a special seminar presentation, she's encouraging others to do the same.
Hey guys, this week's Open Boat again is another seminar I did. This one is really important. I did a ladies' night seminar, and it was a motivational night to get all you ladies out there together, and we talked about kind of what got me into the fishing industry, how women in the fishing industry is an unforeseen backbone, and the significance of women in the industry, and just why all you ladies out there should be like me and just go fishing. So it's going to air on Sunday at 6 p.m., the full seminar. So hopefully you guys tune in, and I'll see you on next week's Open Boat.
Now, ice conditions are ever changing. They continue to change with this moderating temperature, so be careful out there. I spoke to John Bullock at Old School Outdoors in Ewing on Monday morning. He said some worms and shiners are selling now that ice is breaking up on many local waters, especially those canals along the Delaware as well. So a lot of folks are looking for white and yellow perch, even a few largemouth in some of those larger lakes and ponds. John also told me that some folks have been making the run up to Round Valley Reservoir at this point with the open water. So that action is starting. Although we do have another cold snap ahead of us after this weekend. So we'll have to see if ice conditions improve even more. For more on our hard water action, Let's head west, check in with George Schauer, our Pocono Outdoors guy.
Well, hey, thanks, Jim. You know, if you thought winter was over with this warm spell we've been having, I think we're wrong. You know, next week looks like it's really going to get back into those winter temperatures and keep this ice we've been building up. You know, we got some snow expected today. We'll be busy clearing that out. And I think again on Sunday we're supposed to get a little more, so that'll help build even some more ice out here on these lakes. Now, a couple guys are checking in. We haven't had a ton of folks. We had Tom Lawrence check in again. Well, he was back over fishing Tilcon. He managed to get himself one of those really nice Atlantic salmon they have stocked over there. And Jim Oxley was out, and he managed to get himself a really chunky largemouth bass over with him as well. Now, Tom was actually over here fishing on Beltsville, my home lake, and he probably got one of the chunkiest yellow perch I've seen out of Beltsville in quite some time. So great work there, Tom, and we'll hope to see you pretty soon with some more of those great catches. Now, over in Jersey, we had Jen Wong. Well, he was out there with his friend Joe Santiago, and they were doing some ice fishing and got a nice pair of slime darts, some of those pickerel over there in New Jersey as well. So some good fishing, guys, if you want to get out and drill some holes. Still lots of action. Now, I did want to mention that the over here in Pennsylvania, they've announced the trout stocking schedules for the coming in the spring. So if you want to go on to fishingboat.com, you can check out the stocking schedules in your area. So guys, get out and get on them. Stay dry, stay warm. But from Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
Well, I love to fish, and I'm happy to commit to you. The fishermen, the United States of America, are one of our great assets, and it's easy for me to promise to take care of them.
That, my friends, is Howard Lutnick, a financial guy from Long Island, but apparently a fisherman too, as we learned last week as the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee put the spotlight on this Commerce Secretary appointee. It was Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan who asked that Long Islander if he would pledge to focus on the needs of coastal fishing communities as Secretary of Commerce. I know some folks tell me they fish for fun, they don't want any politics. Well, I get that. But this political appointment, Howard Lutnick, if he gets passed, if he gets confirmed by the Senate, he will play a huge part in our ability to access saltwater fisheries under federal law and various other appointments at the state, regional, and federal level. Now, the Secretary of Commerce, of course, oversees NOAA fisheries, which was in headlines this week as well. So ultimately, the Secretary of Commerce will oversee the management of our coastal fish stocks. This is always important to keep in mind. I mean, think back to when Governor Christie and the DEP Commissioner at the time, Bob Martin, got all angry at the ASMFC for what they were doing to us on fluke. ASMFC found the state of New Jersey to be out of compliance, but Christie and Martin went down to see the Commerce Secretary at that point, Wilbur Ross, and said, you can't find us out of compliance, we're correct. And it worked. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because I can't tell you that I remember or ever heard of a Commerce Secretary who said, quote, I love to fish. Just real quickly, the Senate committee voted 16-12 on Wednesday, so they've sent Lutnick's confirmation over to the full Senate. As an aside, New Jersey is represented on that committee by Senator Andy Kim. He voted no. Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, she's from Delaware, she voted no. For you Pennsylvania guys, your Senator, John Fetterman, he voted yes in favor of Howard I Love to Fish Lutnick. I'd also like to congratulate an old friend of mine from Long Island, Lee Zeldin. He was confirmed last week as the new head of the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, when he was a state senator in New York, I had been, at the time, 6 years into a tour of duty at the Recreational Fishing Alliance, I was working with the New York Sport Fishing Federation. I had the honor of working alongside of then Senator Zeldin, who was a champion for the recreational fishing community. So Zeldin is the guy, he actually repealed the fee to fish in saltwater with the help of Governor Cuomo. And by the way, I still have that suit and that stupid tie, and both still fit. Zeldin eventually became a congressman, made a lot of friends and a few enemies for standing up on behalf of coastal fishing issues. And as a saltwater angler himself, I can't think but to say, wow, this is cool. 2 New York Bight anglers in the presidential cabinet. That's pretty cool if you ask me. One more bit of news since last week when in our video, because we found out right after the video, energy publication Recharge, they said that oil giant Shell said it was pulling its investment from the Atlantic Shores offshore wind project. That's the one that President Trump said he hoped would soon be dead and gone. And without Shell's investment, the Atlantic Shores project suddenly doesn't have a sugar daddy. That was followed by an announcement this week that the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities was pulling the plug on the state's 4th offshore wind solicitation. Now, Governor Phil Murphy ain't too pleased that his 7.5-year quest to industrialize our nearshore waters is suffering a few setbacks. But that house of cards is definitely tumbling fast. BPU essentially said moving ahead with new wind projects would not be the responsible decision at this time. So what does it all mean? I was looking at a bunch of different headlines, but I thought Carly Baldwin at The Patch wrote up a pretty concise summary on where all this stands at this point. So despite the financial backing from the fossil fuel folks at Shell, Atlantic Shores says they're plowing forward, but they can't actually plow in the sea bottom until the new Secretary of Interior takes a closer look at these proposed sites over the next 6 months. That is Doug Burgum, Interior Secretary, the Department of Interior. He also was confirmed as well. So the Atlantic Shores project, as noted in the patch, that was to be comprised of 200 wind turbines, less than 9 miles off Long Beach Island, stretching all the way down to Atlantic City. Now, Baldwin also reminds us in that patch article how the Danish company Ørsted, also known as DONG, Danish Oil Natural Gas, walked away from their Ocean Wind 1 and Wind 2 sites off South Jersey in October of 2023. And then last January, British Petroleum said it was backing out of Empire Wind 2. That was a wind farm that was supposed to be 800,000 acres worth of ocean from Sandy Hook to Long Branch, with industrial wind turbines planned about 19 miles out. So again, as this new Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, comes in, he's going to spend the next 6 months looking at all the reviews and all those actively constructed wind sites that they've already started putting turbines in, Eastern Long Island, up in New England. They're going to continue. But any that hasn't broken ground, that's under the 6-month review. New Jersey saying, well, we can't help you at this point. And then there are no new wind leases being approved by our federal government. So that's the news in terms of wind. It's not dead, but it's dying fast. By the way, at the end of February, the Atlantic City Boat Show, that's the last week in February, the first 2 days of March, the Fisherman magazine is once again putting on a whole slate of seminars for that show. But on Saturday, March 1st at 11 a.m., we have a very special presentation. It's a panel discussion from various reps from the recreational sector, the commercial sector, mitigation and council reps. We even have a state legislator joining us for a panel discussion to talk about fishing and offshore wind. Again, that's Saturday, March 1st at 11 a.m. And look at that slate right there. It's followed soon after by our own Jenny Ackerman. So yeah, like I said before, February into March, great month for shows that also have a full suite of how-to seminars so that you can find out more. If you just turn to the calendar of events, see our news briefs as well, and see the ads in the February edition, it'll let you know where everything is going on all the way through the month of February, so where you can get special deals and offers, boat show specials, and all those seminars as well. On the cover, of course, that's Eileen Grant. She was fishing with her husband Eddie late fall of 2024, caught that 12-pound tog and released it from the Shrewsbury Rocks. I would remind you that tog is still in play, though with the colder water temperatures, you're not going to find them at the Shrewsbury Rocks. These fish are farther offshore, hence the need to line the rail of your favorite favorite party boat. The glossy section, page 8, you've got a rod building piece by Mike Garone. Our electronics guide is packed with new high-tech gear. Page 24 of the glossy section by Captain John Raguso. And on page 18, my update on the Northeast striped bass study and the latest pop-up archival sat tag of striped bass from our May expedition. Go inside the magazine, that New Jersey edition table of contents. You'll also find my full write-up of the ASMFC decision back on December 16th. Our regular plug building series with Dave Anderson continues with the Surf Howdy, the hunt for South Jersey largemouth, Bruce Litton, another bathymetric data viewer how-to with Wayne Young, and Nick Simeoli's spotlight on Highmar, page 24, their flea market, as I mentioned, coming up this Saturday. Be one of the first 80 subscribers, new or renewing, this Sunday at Palmyra. And that's Super Bowl Sunday, of course, so get there early so that you can set up your party in the afternoon, but those first 80 renewing or new subscribers will walk out of there with a set of Danko pliers. Finally this week, you know it, I'm going to need some help. So I'm trying to figure out the lucky jersey for Sunday, because you know I'm a Birds fan. So I don't know if I'm going with the classic from the first Super Bowl in the 80s, my favorite player, Bill Bergey. I don't know, we go with the other classic in Kelly Green, Harold Carmichael. You can't really go wrong with Harold, of course. I mean, now we're talking about a future Hall of Famer, Jason Kelsey, but of course, Ray Carrico, he kind of dirtied that up with all that Washington Commanders stuff last week. God bless you, Ray. Stand up, wearing that. God bless you for that. Or, of course, there's with this one, and this one hasn't been washed since I picked this off the rack back in Christmas, because I don't wash my jerseys when the Eagles are winning. So this is Devontae Smith, and well, stains, body odor, and everything, I think that one's getting the nod. So I'll be at Palmyra with Devontae Smith here. I'm going to wear it all night long, and I'm wishing for the best. Next week, we're going to look at the full slate of fishing seminars coming up at the Jersey Shore Boat Sale and Expo, as well as the Philadelphia Fishing Show. We'll touch on Surf Day as well. And again, we'll continue that countdown to Outback Stripers and Winter Flounder on March 1st. That's next week. Go Birds.